Israel has concrete evidence that a cell of more than 10 terrorists in the Sinai plan to carry out an attack against Israel near the Egyptian border, Home Front Defense Minister Matan Vilnai said. Vilnai made the comments Tuesday during a visit at Elbit Systems near Sderot. His statements came a day after Israel's Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Benny Gantz raised the level of alert and beefed up Israel's military presence along Israel's border with Egypt and Gaza after intelligence was received of plans by terrorists to attack Israelis. Due to the terror threat, Israel Navy has dispatched 2 warships to Israel's Red Sea border with Egypt. Egyptian security officials said some 1,500 Egyptian soldiers continue operating in the Sinai Peninsula against terrorist strongholds. A day after Iran announced production of new anti-tank missiles, Israeli defense officials said they fear they may fall into the hands of Hamas or Hezbollah. Israeli defense officials say they fear the missiles will be transferred to Hamas in Gaza or Hezbollah in Lebanon and fired at Israeli tanks and armoured personnel carriers. On Monday, Iranian Defense Minister Ahmad Vahidi announced mass production had begun of the new portable missiles, with a warhead capable of destroying targets at a distance of 1,300 meters and capable of penetrating 300 millimeters of reinforced steel of armored vehicles. Vahidi said the high-precision, lightweight missiles are suitable for ground and tactical operations and can be fired at armored vehicles as well as at enemies' ammunition depots. Israel's army is training West Bank settlers in preparation for mass Palestinian demonstrations ahead of a statehood recognition. The army is in the midst of finalizing Operation Summer Seeds, preparing troops for possible confrontations with Palestinians as they turn to the United Nations next month, seeking recognition. The army estimates a statehood bid may lead to mass disorder and demonstrations, with Palestinians marching towards settlements and military checkpoints and main West Bank roads. In each settlement, the army has determined 2 different defense lines. If Palestinian protesters cross the first line, they'll be confronted with crowd dispersal methods such as tear gas. And if they cross the red line, soldiers will be permitted to shoot at protesters' feet if they attempt to cross. Settlers may also be armed with stun grenades and tear gas in advance of the expected protests. The army has not ruled out the possibility that terrorists may take advantage of the protests and mingle with demonstrators in order to shoot at Israelis. The Palestinians have built a chair they plan to send to the United Nations in anticipation of receiving statehood recognition and gaining a seat. Ramallah engineer Sufyan al-Qasmi, the brainchild behind the chair, said 35 men from Jenin built the olive wood chair clad in blue cloth woven in Hebron. The chair was designed to fit in a suitcase and will travel the world before arriving at the United Nations headquarters in New York, he said. A delegation will take the chair to Qatar, who will hold the presidency of the United Nations General Assembly in September, and from there to Lebanon, who takes over the UN Security Council presidency this week. Will also be taken to Russia, France, Britain and the European Union headquarters, Spain and Brazil before it reaches its final destination. Israel's Ministry of National Infrastructure has commissioned an external body to conduct a feasibility study for the building of a nuclear power plant. The study will examine plans for Israel's Electric Corporation to construct a nuclear power plant in southern Israel that will provide 1,200 megawatts, constituting 10% of the corporation's mass production. Will also focus on declaring the area where the plant will be constructed exterritorial, an area over which Israel holds no sovereignty. This will allow Israel to sidestep issues concerning its refusal to sign international nuclear treaties subjected to the scrutiny of international observers. Last March, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told the American network CNN he favored building a nuclear reactor in Israel.